can't please everyone, so you got to please yourself.
All right, 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. It's time for You've Got a Garden with Carol Ann Baldwin. I almost called it the garden party. That's what you call it.
That's
what you call
the
garden party. And of course, your calls are an important part of this show, whether it's a question or just a comment. I just want to chat with Carol Ann. The number is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, which is 622-9622. And call in and find out how to make your lawn greener, your roses rosier, and your tomatoes more lycopene-ish.
More tomatoey.
More tomatoey. This morning we had a discussion about the difference between catsup and ketchup. Did you happen to hear us?
No.
I can't wait to tell you.
The difference between ketchup and catsup.
So how are you?
I am wonderful. How are you?
Good.
Super.
So you want me to tell you the difference?
What's besides the spelling?
The spelling is, the spelling was the only difference.
Right.
Before the 1980s, and I think President Reagan was the president, although I don't know you would associate this with him, but a decision was made that ketchup should be considered a food group in school.
Right. It became a vegetable.
So they declared that it is a serving of vegetables when you have ketchup included on a hamburger, for example.
Right.
Okay. And in the documents, it listed the word ketchup.
Okay.
Which means that ketchup, spelled with a K, is technically a food group for schools.
Okay.
Ketchup, spelled catsup, CATSUP,
right,
would not be
qualified.
Wouldn't qualify, and therefore schools weren't buying any product that was spelled with a C. And some of them, excluding Del Monte, I think Del Monte said, no, we're sticking with the C spelling.
Okay.
Which means the schools don't order their ketchup.
Ketchup from them.
From them, because the spelling
in the documents.
So the joke would be that the difference between ketchup and catsup is that ketchup is a vegetable product. Catsup is a fruit product. It's a
condiment.
It's a fruit product.
It's a fruit product. Oh, wow.
They're both
I was going to say, if ketchup is a serving of vegetables, it's a vegetable. And catsup would be a condiment, which is just something that you put on something else to enhance the flavors. Okay. A serving of green beans is green beans. Even if you spell it different, it's green beans. Unless they changed it, even when they made the green ketchups and those kind of things, those were definitely condiments. I would not.
See, I can't imagine that one little packet of ketchup, which is what they usually give you at school.
Right,
is a serving of vegetables.
No, I wouldn't either. But they have shown that when it comes to tomato products. A fresh tomato, of course, is wonderful. It's nice, it's fresh, it's healthy, you're getting fiber, etc. with it. But tomatoes cooked down into sauce, ketchup, probably not so much salsa, because salsa is still pieces of tomato more than a sauce of it, actually has more nutrition into it. That lycopene is more concentrated, and I think that's why they did. That they've removed the water or a portion of the water and blended all of the meat from the tomato into a product. So like a can of tomato paste is actually better than a can of tomato sauce, because one is much more thick.
Oh, okay.
It would be, and I believe if you read, we'll have to get a can of SpaghettiOs, or if somebody's got one on the shelf. Read the amount, because that's one that they actually tout the benefits of the concentrated tomato product. Joe's making faces outside the window.
So do you know what the flavor is of a tomato?
Tomato.
It is umami. Have you ever heard that before?
No, my tomato tastes like tomato.
UMAMI.
No, I never heard of that one.
Listen. Some food is salty. Some food is sweet. Some food is sour. Some food is bitter. The fifth recognized flavor is umami. UMAMI.
Interesting.
It is the flavor of tomatoes.
That's okay.
I don't know.
So a green bean can't taste like you at. It
could, I guess. I don't.
No, because it tastes like tomatoes.
Well, they say that cured meat, I guess beef jerky, is also in the umami family. Although that's salty to me a little bit.
Right.
But But
Who knows?
that's umami. It doesn't taste anything like tomatoes.
No, tomato tastes like tomato. I'm sorry. That's there are some foods that have unusual flavors. I don't know about anybody else's thought of. And it's definitely an acquired taste of, like, say, green peanuts. Not a roasted peanut,
right.
not a boiled peanut, but that boiled peanut as a green peanut.
Have you ever eaten that?
I don't care for them
What
because
does it taste like?
a green crayon.
Oh, really?
To me, if a green crayon was represented by something you would eat, it would be a green peanut.
Wait a minute. Does a green crayon taste different than a red crayon?
I don't know. But if a green crayon had a flavor, it would be green peanut.
So it tastes like a crayon.
It reminds me
regardless of color, really.
No, it tastes like a green crayon. A red crayon would taste like something else.
Really?
I don't know what. You would have to ask my grandson.
We need every crayons. We need to bring them in
I'm
here.
not tasting crayons, but no. I always said if you could pick out, the color. If the green crayon had a flavor. Because you get these markers that smell good and this and that, and they'll make them apple or whatever.
Right.
No, the green crayon would taste like green peanuts, and I know that's a really
And really, a brown
thing.
crayon wouldn't taste like it.
No, it'd probably taste like dirt.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It
makes sense,
It
yeah.
would taste like dirt.
That's silly.
But that's just just to get back to something a little closer to gardening.
You were talking about green peanuts. That is gardening.
Yes, I was, yeah. And green peanuts make great boiled peanuts, and that's, the best way to start them. But the Vegetable Garden Expo, I think I mentioned it last week, is coming up in September. So I know it's a month away, but it's not too early to put it on the calendar.
Hard to believe. That's only a month
I
away.
know, a month away. And I heard, I don't know if y'all's weather report, but it was a weather report I heard this morning, said tomorrow morning's going to be like 69 degrees, 68 degrees. It's like, wow, it's going to be cold tomorrow.
Really?
For a minute.
I guess I didn't see that.
No, that was, I don't know. It's just some kind of front coming through. But during the Vegetable Gardening Expo, they're going to we're having, looks like 7 seminars. So anybody looking, and it's on vegetables. It's on, I'm trying to think. Yeah, there is herbs. There is composting as well that will be going on the different seminars. I guess they got 3 of them inside the auditorium. That's why they're written on the front and the back. On the indoor seminars, it's growing, and I can never pronounce solanaceous crops, which are your tomato, eggplant, peppers, and white, Irish potato, is going on in there, as well as growing the brassica. It's your cabbage, your broccoli, cauliflower, etc., and growing cucurbits, which are your cucumber, squash, pumpkins, and melons. And those are 3 different ones running from like 9 to 10, 10, 20, 11, 20, etc. Those are all indoors if you can't take the heat. Now, outside, you probably get the better ones. No, I'm kidding. They'll be talking about composting, growing herbs, growing tropical crops, which we can grow many tropical crops here. Sometimes it's, we have a few folks that are growing papaya, yucca, which is the cassava, which makes tapioca pudding, as well as when you find yucca chips.
I didn't know that.
In the market, you find that in
Really?
some of the
I never knew that.
either in the ethnic snacks or such like that, you find them. And pests of vegetables and fruit trees all going on.
All right, we're coming up on our 15-minute after
Wow.
break, so I feel like I hijacked some of your time.
That's all right.
I apologize. We'll take a little break and be right back. If you'd like to call Carol Ann, the number is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, 622-WOCA, 622-9622. We'll be right back after this break.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. For today, times of clouds and sun with a couple of thunderstorms around this afternoon, high 88 to 92. A shower and thunderstorm around early tonight, then partly cloudy and warm late tonight, though 72 to 76. For tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sunshine with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm crossing the area, the high 90 to 94. Thursday, more sun than clouds, perhaps an afternoon thunderstorm, high 89 to 93. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
How good does it get?
Golf has long been considered to be sport's most prestigious game, and WOCA has your connection to everything in the golf world. Every first and third Thursday at 10 a.m., tune in for Let's Talk Golf with your host, PGA professional and teacher to the stars, Jim Beckett, and operations manager for the Links of Spruce Creek South, Darren Irwin, right here on The Source.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
On which day are we most likely to have a tension headache? If you guess Monday, well, you're right on. If you want to get noticed, just smile more often. People, it turns out, spot others whose teeth they're showing when they smile twice as fast as those who have closed mouths. And they don't want to go where you want to go. They don't want to do what you like to do. If that sounds familiar, focus on your other friends.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
All right, 18 minutes after 9 o'clock here at the Paddock Mall. It is currently, let me make sure I refresh my screen. It is 83 degrees. Looks like a nice day. And let's rejoin Carol Ann Baldwin. You've got a garden. If you have a question or a comment for Carol Ann, you are invited to call her. The number is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, 622-9622.
There we go. Yeah, get back. As I'm sitting here reading on the screen.
Can we grow mangoes around here?
No, not really. The trees need to get too big, and our temperatures are just, they get too cold.
Not far south.
Not far south. Right. I actually had somebody the other day when I was at work ask, because he had gotten a mango from his son living in South Florida, and he got it to sprout and everything. It's going to, the seed's going to sprout, the seed's going to grow. It's got, you can stick an avocado in a glass jar in New York City and grow an avocado tree, in a pot.
Right,
it's just never necessarily going to get mature enough, big enough in our climate to produce fruit.
Okay.
Because of our winter time. It's just that we just get a little bit too cold for that. But we can do papaya and things like that. And I was just, the other day in the Star Banner, there was an article, and of course, I forgot my article, but I did look it up online here. This is what I was reading, was on that laurel wilt. If anybody saw that where it's destroying the red bay trees or the swamp bay trees down in the Everglades, where we have such a fragile ecosystem down there, and there's so many restoration programs that are going on down there, trying to eliminate the melaleuca trees and things like that, that this is a big issue because it is wiping out the native swamp bay trees. It's a what's called a laurel wilt, because they're within the laurel family, and it's spread by a non-native species, a small ambrosia beetle that gets in. He carries that fungus with him, bores into that tree, and the next thing you know, that fungus is spreading rapidly and causing the death of the tree. And people say, well, that's out in the swamp. No, it's spreading. It's throughout, in areas of Florida, actually throughout the southeast, in some of the regular, just the red bay trees that are grown ornamentally in the landscape, as well as the avocado industry. We have a pretty good avocado industry down in South Florida, and if we're not, if they're trying to work on, again, disease-resistant varieties. And I think what will end up happening is here we'll come back to, you can call it really fancy crossbreeding or genetically modified organisms, in order to find, a way around this pest. And they say the way the pest probably came in was through shipping crates. When shipping crates come in through, like, say, Port of Miami and things like that, those crates and all that have that beetle from Asia in it, in the wood. And he goes, oh, well, whatever. There's nothing in this climate that's going to kill me. There's nothing that's, an actual predator to that pest because it's not native to this area, and it has begun to run amok. Right. Now, sometimes when we bring them in, like the beetle to help to control the air potato, it's something, again, host specific for that. Luckily it actually does look like it is host specific. It would be interesting to see what happens over the winter on how much of this stuff comes back, because they're doing a good job on wiping out the air potato in my yard. But with this laurel wilt, it's something that if you have laurel trees, the red bay, swamp bays, they're going through living swamp bay trees to collect samples in the hopes of propagating new trees that are going to, that seem to be resistant, and I'm sure each tree has its own ability. Each tree is an individual, just like each person. We can all handle different things. Same way with a plant. Some plants will resist a pathogen much better than others, and that's where you go from there on trying to do a breeding program to, try to stay away from that, to try to get rid of that pathogen being a problem. But the article, it was in Friday's Star Banner, I believe it was, because today's Tuesday. Fridays or Saturday's paper. And right now the one I'm looking at is through the Tampa Bay online, just because when I Googled it, that was the first one that came up. So But it's something to watch for. It's something in the news on it, and there's not really anything once it's in there that you can do. I'm not sure if on the homeowner level of using any of the systemics, because you're not going to see the beetle. He's teeny. I don't even know if they've got a picture.
Is that the one that looks like a lightning bug, a firefly?
No. That's the one for the air potato. But the ambrosia beetle, I had it on. Maybe it's this page, if it'll come up. No, wrong one. That it's a very, very small beetle. It was smaller than a. Let me see if I'm bringing the page up here so I can get the penny. They're showing it with a penny in reference, and so it's a good sized beetle, but you're not necessarily going to recognize it because you're not going to see you're not going to see it come through. And it is possible if you have a red bay tree or some of the other laurels or an avocado tree, and it just seems to be, it's doing a wilt thing, or the branches are beginning to wilt. It might be something you're not going to be able to stop. Because the fungus, it's not a pest anymore. It's a disease. The pest caused the disease. So unless you can keep the pest from getting to it, that's a whole nother.
Do you like avocado?
I like guacamole.
Ooh, okay.
That's avocado, but with a whole bunch of other stuff.
What else is in there? It looks like just
it's smushed up, but avocado. It's got garlic and lime and hot peppers.
See, I think that tastes like umami. Umami. What was the flavor?
No, that one
umami.
actually avocado can taste like green crayon too.
Oh, goodness.
I'm just picking on crayons. I guess it's that back to school time thing.
Yeah, it is. Hey, by the way, I've had in my home a little embarrassing issue of way too many cockroaches. I mean, one or two now and then is not a big deal, but last couple of weeks, just out of control. Nothing that I was buying in the store was helping.
Right.
And so we had a guest, and he told me to do this. He said, take jelly, like grape jelly, mix it with boric acid, take a little dot of it, and put it on little pieces of paper, and place some mold over wherever you're seeing them. Carol Ann, I am telling you, it worked like magic.
Yeah.
I mean, overnight.
Right.
Now they came back the next day, so I guess you got to do it every day.
You've got to do it till you see your problem gone. And because boric acid is a poison to insects, to roaches, and things like that. Keep it away from your pets. Especially because you're mixing it with something that's going to taste good to anything else. So if you have cats that get up on counters, make sure you're putting it like inside of drawers and things like that. And then watch out you don't get the double problem of have ants come in. If you just try to use the boric acid, what people have a tendency to do, and this is where it doesn't work, is they'll leave piles of it thinking, they'll come eat it. Well, no. And bugs aren't dumb. I mean, we all think it's just a dumb bug. No, they will walk around that pile of stuff. If it doesn't look like a food source, they're not going to do it. They may walk through some, and then when they groom, they'll ingest it. But if you mix it, like you say, with a little bit of jelly, or probably even just a little bit of sugar, and it just is something that would attract them.
Something for them to eat.
Right.
It was an amazing, but here's my conclusion.
Right.
Is that my house has more than one family of roaches. Because while the big problem was in my kitchen area, I did have a lesser problem elsewhere.
Okay.
And so I need to do that same thing elsewhere.
In the other room, right. And this time of year, and it's always one of those things, the question is, why do these bugs come in my house? Well, it's either it's too hot or it's too cold. It's too wet out or it's too dry.
They're just coming in.
They come in for a specific reason. If it's too hot, they are coming in because it's a cooler area. If it's real dry out, they're coming in for moisture. If it's real wet out, they're trying to get out of the wet. It's one of those things. It's kind of even like a plant thing. Well, why is my plant dying? You're either overwatering it or underwatering it, or you're over-fertilizing it or under-fertilizing it. There's, it's a whole different thing that you can weigh it back and forth. But when you find you're starting to have an issue, it is best to get on it, real quick. And on something like yours is a raised home, you may want to actually treat outside before they ever get in.
Do you know what does not work?
What's that?
Dead roaches. Have you ever heard that if you leave the dead roaches,
they supposedly consume them, but
the other roaches will see them and go, whoa, this is not a good place.
I've always heard that they consume them and they take that poison back too. That's but I don't know. The one thing I did find, and this is, it's not a bug. Well, it is a bug thing, but not really a garden thing. Had a friend, I lived in South Florida, who had a pet tarantula, and he used to go and he used to have to buy crickets to feed the tarantula.
Okay.
And I said, we're in South Florida. Why don't you just catch a cockroach and feed him a cockroach?
And?
So he did. He, caught one day, and he threw the cockroach in there, and it was actually very exciting, and he never saw another cockroach in the house.
Oh.
So either that cockroach screamed as it ran in circles around that inside that terrarium for the tarantula before the tarantula pounced on him.
Oh, wow.
He may have let out a blood-curdling roachy scream, and it chased the rest of them away.
Whoa.
And then he had to go back to buying crickets to feed the...
Wow. Another cure for roaches, just get a tarantula.
Have a tarantula and just feed them one or two, but that was really interesting.
Can you believe we're at the bottom of the hour?
We're at the bottom of the hour.
Yeah, we got to take a little break and move forward. Well, I guess I was a little jumping the gun there. But anyway, if you have a question for Carol Ann, there's the music. The number is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, 622-9622. Maybe you want to grow something that you've never grown before.
There you go.
Or maybe you want to move something,
or something like that.
Vegetables or fruit, or make your own ketchup.
Make your own ketchup.
We'll take a break and we'll be right back. This is The Source, WOCA.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. At least 22 civilians killed in eastern Ukraine as clashes continue between pro-Russian separatists and government troops. Meanwhile, the European Union may be running out of patience with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
They're expected to announce wider sanctions hitting Russia's finance, defense, and energy sectors. This following a rare five-way video call between President Obama and the leaders of Germany, Britain, France, and Italy.
Fox Radio, Simon Owen.
There's previously been a reluctance here to risk damaging Europe's close economic economic ties with Russia, but that was before the recent downing of a Malaysia Airlines plane in Ukraine, apparently by pro-Russian rebels.
In the Israeli-Hamas conflict, a senior Palestinian official who says he's speaking for Hamas, offering a 24-hour truce in Gaza, and 2 men accused of carjacking a woman in North Philadelphia, then plowing into a family, killing 3 kids, have been ordered held without bail. Fox News, we report, you decide.
I'm Lex Friedman. I run my own business, so I know from experience, hiring new employees can be tough. Posting your job in one place isn't enough to find quality candidates. If you want to find the perfect hire, you need to post your job on all the top job sites, and now you can. With ZipRecruiter.com, you can post your job to 50-plus job sites, including Craigslist, LinkedIn, and Twitter, all with a single click. Find candidates in any industry nationwide. Just post once and watch your qualified candidates roll into ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. No juggling emails or calls to your office. Quickly screen candidates, rate them, and hire the right person fast. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by over 200,000 businesses. And right now, our listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/info. That's ZipRecruiter.com/info. One more time, to try it for free, go to ZipRecruiter.com/info.
Who would you feed if you had 50 chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A? WOCA and Chick-fil-A in the Paddock Mall have teamed up to reward one organization with 50 chicken sandwiches as a way of saying thanks for the great work that organization is doing in our community. And we need your help. See, there are so many great people doing great things that we need nominations. You can nominate your own organization or any organization you choose. Simply send an email to WOCA@WOCA.com. And in 350 words or less, tell us why the organization you are nominating should receive 50 free chicken sandwiches from WOCA and Chick-fil-A at the Paddock Mall. We'll review your nominations and then select one deserving organization each month. We'll announce the winner and even read the winning entry on the air. Make sure to include the contact name and phone number of the organization that you are nominating. And thanks from your friends at WOCA and Chick-fil-A in the Paddock Mall. Veterans are the foundation upon which our freedom is built. Listen to The Source, WOCA, each Thursday at 9 a.m. to Veterans News with Hank Whittier from Vets Helping Vets. You'll hear tributes, information on veterans issues, and stories that will make you laugh, cry, and feel proud. Veterans News always focuses on the military, past and present, and on our first responders. Veterans News is brought to you each week by Palm Chevrolet, where supporting the community is the Palm Chevy way, and by Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery, keeping you blooming since 1952.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Yeehaw! Howdy, folks. RL here to invite you to DQ. Dairy Queen is serving the crispiest, juiciest, most tasty chicken tenders, all beef chili dogs, and quarter-pound cheeseburgers on earth. And you get crispy fries, a drink, and an ice cream sundae of your choice for only $5. Remember, at DQ, you can lick their cones, but you can't beat their shakes. Dairy Queen, Silver Springs, where they always treat you like kings and queens.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Frederick's Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Frederick's Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Frederick's Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Frederick's Appliance.
You're listening to WOCA, Ocala.
All right, 25 minutes before 10 o'clock, let's return to Carol Ann Baldwin. You've got a garden, and remember, your questions and your calls are invited. The phone number is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, 622-9622.
Yeah, you showed me this, the 10 wild and crazy facts about ketchup, and that's it's pretty interesting.
Makes you want to have some ketchup, though.
Yeah, we both were thinking, you're thinking a burger, I'm thinking French fries. And it's like, and then the question is, how come some French fries need ketchup and others don't?
Have you ever had a hamburger, though? Because it's such a habit to put ketchup on it.
Right.
But you get it, and it's got this sauce on it that the restaurant put on there. And you say, well,
because it's their sauce.
I'm going to ruin it with this ketchup. And then you try it, and you go, oh, yeah.
Yeah, put the ketchup anyway.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, halfway through, you say,
Yeah.
I'll do the rest of the ketchup.
Yeah, I'll put my ketchup on it, even with your special sauce or whatever. No, I do burgers with A1 occasionally. Yeah,
A1. And you know what they don't sell anymore that I used to like? I guess it was bad for us. Oh, what's it called? Not Shout. That's a laundry product. Oh, what was it called? It was you sprinkle it on. It was a salt substance.
I
used to like it.
Accent?
Yeah, Accent.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Monosodium glutamate.
Yeah, they said
it's a flavor enhancer.
They said that's bad for you.
Yeah, it can. For some people, actually, it really is.
But
it's
I actually.
when you eat Chinese food, it's contains no MSG. Because some people get severe headaches with that stuff.
But I thought, wow, this stuff is great.
It's a flavor enhancer. Yeah.
All right, let's go to the phone.
Sure.
Good morning. You're on there with Carol Ann.
Yeah. Good morning, guys.
Morning.
There must be a lot of people on vacation.
I guess, allowing us to goof off here.
Well, if you don't go now, it ain't going to go, I guess.
That's
it. Coming up pretty quick. Say, you guys are talking about bugs and insects and all that kind of stuff. Way back when I was a younger man, back in my high school days, when I lived at home yet, my favorite dessert was always banana cream pie. And my mom, whenever I pestered enough, she'd go and make me a banana cream pie. And one weekend way back when, she was working on that in the kitchen, and all of a sudden I hear a big scream. What the second? There was a tarantula that came out of a bunch of bananas.
Ooh!
About the size of a $50. He was living in that bunch of bananas from wherever they come from. I don't know.
Right.
Hawaii.
Well, that gets rid of the roaches.
Yeah.
Yeah,
was he a tarantula or a wolf?
I took care of him with a fly swatter, and when I went back to school on Monday, I mentioned it in the class, and a kid he said, "What did you kill them for?" He said, "They make great pets."
Yeah.
I got a couple of them in an aquarium. I said, "Oh my God!" Well, if I'd have known that, I put it in a jar and brought it to school.
Right. You would have freaked your teacher out, but yeah.
Yeah, right. But anyways, you never know when you're going to run across the bug, I guess.
No, that's true, and they do come in unusual fashions like that, and that's how a lot of them did find their way here. And here in Florida, we have a climate that is conducive for these things to survive, and that's they have the African one of the big snails that come into Miami, where they're a problem in a plant industry there. They find their way up this direction again, being transported. That's why there's the agricultural stations, up and down. You're not legally allowed to take things, actually, most of the time across state lines, especially if you're going east to west. If you're going to cross the Mississippi, don't bring produce with you. They're going to take it from you.
Do they really?
Yeah, they will. Yeah, I've heard people had the whole thing of going. They took their apples.
You're kidding.
It was a bag of apples that they bought to have for snacks and such. And don't transport plant material, especially. It's not really worth it.
I've never had them stop me at that point. In Texas, I was stopped once and asked, but nobody actually looked through the car.
I remember as a kid traveling, and I think this was when there was a big problem with the gypsy moth in crossing, I think going down through Virginia from New Jersey, going down through, where they stopped and they checked all the campers and things, and we had a little tow behind, and they were inspecting for that. See, now the gypsy moth, I'm always trying to remember. I think the caterpillar doesn't survive down here. The moth may show up, but it won't reproduce and live down here.
Oh, really?
I think it needs that overwintering time and we don't have that. And that's a problem once you get up into probably the northern part of the Carolinas and into Virginia and north, where they have the gypsy moth, where we don't have that as an issue. Here, let's hope we don't, hopefully they don't decide to acclimate themselves to be able to handle our winters. But, that's where so many of these pests that you have to be careful. And you don't want to transport this stuff back and forth. It's...
So when people typically would come to Florida and buy a basket of fruit, and bring them up to wherever they came from.
Citrus in Florida is quarantined. It's illegal to remove it from Florida unless you are a licensed.
But everybody does it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you buy them at an actual. Say, if you bought them at the flea market, no, you're not going to carry them across. You're not supposed to carry them across state lines. But I think if you bought them from a place that does do shipping, some of the groves will have the gift boxes, and that they actually do. Your paper will have, Indian River fruit and things like that. They're licensed shippers. They have licensed inspectors that check that stuff. And that's how those are still able to be shipped. But at one time, you could just take and box up some of the fruit off your tree and ship it up to, Aunt Bee and Uncle Bob up and wherever, and it didn't make a difference. And it's, part of the reason,
So now when you do that, like through one of those roadside stands and you have them ship it, They've done all the legal part.
They are going through a licensed inspector. They're probably not going to take what they've got on the roadside stand necessarily and ship it. They have them back at the at the grove,
so
the packing house.
So they've passed the test.
They've passed the test. They've been washed. They've been
It's a nice gift, isn't it?
It's always kind of neat to see the fruit and. But it was kind of funny at one time. I forget who it was sent my mom fruit, and it's why are you sending mom oranges and grapefruit? Because the stuff she gets right here at locally tastes better than what they're going to ship to you in the box. She had a honeybell tree right outside the back door of her place down in Palmetto, and you can't beat a honeybell. And the ones they ship, of course, the one you pick off the tree always tastes better.
Mm-hmm.
But with just to try to get back up onto something that pertains to this time of year with planting or getting ready to plant, because I did mention the Vegetable Garden Expo. If you're looking to start a vegetable garden, herb garden, etc., it is hot out, but you can get your starts started. Little paper Dixie cups or recycle your yogurt cups or anything like that. Just get you a seed starting mix on something like that. Finding seed right now might be tough. A lot of them have either been put away for another few weeks. I'm not sure if maybe Seminole or Tractor Supply or somebody like that may still have some down handy, but the seed will be coming back in. But you get get the beds ready. If you're going to do a raised bed, just go ahead and lay it out. You can put your landscape fabric. If you're just going to go right on top of the ground, you want to put the landscape fabric down, you're going to need to go at least 10 inches deep. 12 is going to be better. So you're looking at lumber, and pressure-treated lumber is acceptable to use. They've shown that today's modern pressure-treated products are not leaching this stuff into the soil. It's not going to contaminate your food. And then get your, you can either get bulk garden mixes. You can go to any of the dirt places, the mulch places, and get bulk if you have a pickup truck or you got something to hold a few garbage cans full. Just remember, once you get them full, you got to get them out of there too.
Yeah.
And soil does get heavy, or even the mixes get heavy. You can even do the bagged goods, and fill them up. Realizing that garden mixes, garden soil go in the garden, potting mixes go in pots. And it is a difference in the blend.
The name helps.
Yeah, the name does help. And some people, when they hear that, they go, "Oh, that is so obvious," but you don't think about it.
Yeah,
because garden soil is less expensive than potting mix.
True.
And so they want to use garden stuff in a pot because it's cheaper. But if you're going into containers, even large containers, I would go with potting mixes. Here comes my frog back today.
Well, we'll take care of the frog. We'll take a little break. Right. The phone line is open if you want to call in, and the number is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, 622-9622. Carol Ann Baldwin will answer your questions about your lawns. We haven't had too many lawn questions lately. I guess everybody's lawn's doing okay. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. For today, times of clouds and sun with a couple of thunderstorms around this afternoon, high 88 to 92. A shower and thunderstorm around early tonight, then partly cloudy and warm late tonight, though 72 to 76. For tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sunshine with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm crossing the area, the high 90 to 94. Thursday, more sun than clouds, perhaps an afternoon thunderstorm, high 89 to 93. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
On which day are we most likely to have a tension headache? If you guess Monday, well, you're right on. If you want to get noticed, just smile more often. People, it turns out, spot others whose teeth they're showing when they smile twice as fast as those who have closed mouths. And they don't want to go where you want to go. They don't want to do what you like to do. If that sounds familiar, focus on your other friends.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Pick up your copy of Lady Lake Magazine featuring local businesses and issues and written by local volunteers. Lady Lake Magazine has become a must-read in Marion, Lake, and Sumter counties, audited by Circulation Verification Council and serving the area for 23 years. Plus, Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. All we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 352-804-1223 and pick up your copy of Lady Lake Magazine today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
News Talk 1370 WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults. So use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000. 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370 WOCA.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Your official news source, WOCA.
All right, 12 minutes before 10 o'clock. Carol Ann Baldwin is here to answer your gardening questions. The number to call if you'd like to be on the air, 622-9622. The issue I have in my lawn is not the grass, because that's easy. It just cut it.
Just mow it.
It's that stupid vine that keeps coming back. I don't know what it is. I should bring in a piece of it one day and see if you can tell me.
See what we got on that one. Yeah,
it's just in everything.
And it could be a lot of times those vines. Well, the air potato has the big tubers that are underground. Smilax vine has another big woody tuber that's under the underground that it has a lot of energy in that. So you may be killing off the top or pulling it up and you think you're getting it, but there's a lot of energy under there that keeps popping it back
trace
up.
It, huh?
You may need to trace it back to where it's coming from in order to be able to eliminate it. One of the Smilax vine is the bullbriar. It's one that eventually over years the vine itself will get really pretty big, and even if you're cutting it off each year it comes back, it gets bigger and hardier and more healthy and is a tough plant, but you can trace that one back too and get it dug up.
I'll have to look, see where it goes, because it's everywhere. It's almost like trying to find the end of a wire and like thousands of feet of phone. Right. All right, you've got a phone call. Good morning, you're on the air with Carol Ann.
Hey, I have two citrus trees. One of them's a tangerine and one of them's Valencia orange. And they're side by side. They've been there for about 20 years or so. They have fruit on them, but there's like patches of sparse leaves, and then the other parts of it are nice and healthy. What's going on?
It could be the trees are actually just reaching the end of their lifespan. Citrus trees anymore just don't seem to last the way they used to. I think Extension and the university usually say if you can get a good 15 years out of your citrus trees, you're doing well. They could be needing some fertilization or some pruning out the dead wood, cutting them back somewhat just to try to rejuvenate them. But if you ever drive around, you see some of the groves will have trees, on the outer edges where they're sort of ignoring those. And again, they'll have looks like some real healthy, nice, lush dark green leaves in certain sections. And then the other half of trees got like dead sticks hanging out of it. And I think those trees have just succumbed to old age and other health issues within the tree. Here, we now have that issue with the greening, and it is possible that the trees have got greening issues. It'll be just something to watch on the fruit.
Away?
What's that?
Will the greening ever go away from year to year? Or?
No. Greening
Once
is
it's there, it's there. Huh?
Once the greening is there, the tree basically will over time just die off, and the fruit will actually be your telltale. As if that fruit begins to, if you notice, and sometimes it'll be on one branch and not another, that the fruit will actually be bitter or taste like gasoline or medicine-like. And then when you cut them in half, if you look at the fruit, it's not round anymore. It will be sort of misshapen, and if you cut it from stem to flower end on that vertical and you open that up, they're not the same. They should always be the same. And if they're not, even when it's a green fruit, you can see that. It means it's got greening, and that's, there's nothing you can do about it. The tree will succumb, and the fruit will be ruined.
And when should I fertilize these now? I know you said every 3 months or something.
September would be your next fertilization. Okay. If we put it as 3-6-9, you go March, June, and September. That would be your your best way to remember it.
Okay.
And use a good citrus fertilizer. And this time of year, they're not really needing any extra water. That's usually in the wintertime is when you may have to supplement some water on them.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right. Yeah, that doesn't sound real good for those trees.
And you have another phone call, Carol Ann. Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Yeah, my name is Alan. Live in southeast Ocala, and I have a question.
Yeah. What you got?
I have a country of hedges in my backyard that have gotten too wide and too high.
Okay.
And I want to take them down maybe 3 foot off the top and 2 foot from the sides.
Okay.
What's the best time of year for me to do that?
You can still do it now, realizing they may not get real full again this year. But we are still in an active growing season, so if you did it now, and we're also getting plenty of rain, it shouldn't put too bad of a stress on them. If you're not going to be able to get to it here within the next month, if you don't get, I would wait till early spring and figure on about mid-February to early March. And you can, that's a good time because the shrubs are still within the dormancy that we have, and that when you cut them off, it'll be about 6 weeks. They'll start to really do some serious growing for you and filling in.
Okay, so you're saying like mid-February is the best time, really?
Mid-February to first part of March is probably going to be the optimum time to do it.
Will they look like hedges again by the summer? Or?
Yeah, they will. Probably
the leaves will go back out.
Right. It'll take them, once you cut them back like that, you can even give them a good fertilization at that time. And at that time of year, because we're dry, I'd give them a little supplemental water. But they should, within about 6 weeks, begin to be budding and leafing back out and beginning to put on their new spring growth. And then they'll be growing throughout that spring and summertime, and you can shape and keep them trimmed as you need to get that, to regain that shape that you're looking for.
I also have some of those vines he was talking about and that come in them, and I found that, like you said, you have to trace them back and dig that potato out.
Yeah.
To get them. It's a job, but that's really the only way to get them out of there.
That's it. Well, now we've got this new this beetle that they have brought in. It is spreading throughout the county. Seems to be knocking out the air potato. I don't think we'll really know for a couple of years of how well it's doing on annihilating that. But if you can trace them back and dig them up, it's all the better. Because then you're eliminating that one of being able to reproduce.
I have one that gets a white flower on it too. Is that the same thing?
No, that's probably the morning glory. That's probably a morning glory vine.
You have to dig that out too?
You would have to dig that one out, unless you like it. I mean, it just has a tendency to get out of hand.
That has thorns, right?
The morning glory vine? No.
Okay, because I have one that has thorns also.
That's probably the Smilax, where it's real smooth, but will have thorns randomly. That's the Smilax. That's that bullbriar. And that one, again, chase that one back because it's got a big tuber underground. It's got a big woody root zone under there.
Okay, yeah, I noticed when I dug them all out that I had like about 2 or 3 years before I started getting them again.
Yeah. So you probably missed a little teeny piece, and it decided to come on back on you.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yep. Yeah, that Smilax vine, I dug one up a few years ago, and it was the size of the garbage can lid.
Wow.
I had taken it took me about 2 weeks to do it, but I cut all the vines back to where I could take and manually put them in the bottle of herbicide and get it on there and let that take that down into full strength down into that root zone to begin to weaken that. And then I just started get the shovel and get it underneath there and keep prying, and it was a knotty, almost looked like little sections that were put together of a real woody tuberous root zone. And it was about the size of the lid of the garbage can, and that's what I put it on because I was afraid it would take root somewhere else if I just set it on the concrete, that it would come back and find its way back in the garden.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was.
But you gotta trace them. You gotta
you gotta chase them all the way back to where they're coming from. And unfortunately, sometimes it's right underneath the shrub in the middle of the front window. Or something like that. And with something like that, then you're taking it and you can cut the vines. And this time of year, you'll still get some control, though doing it earlier in the spring and earlier in the summer is going to be better because you figure right now they've done so much growing this year that they've put a lot of energy into that root system that you'll knock them back a little bit. Next year, you just start working on them. Just cut those vines back to about 3 feet or so where it's pliable and you can bend it and put it into your bottle of herbicide. And so, get it on there good. So and then, stand it up and let it go. And you might do that every couple of weeks to try to weaken that out.
Carolyn, we've got a $20 gift certificate to Bob Wine's.
We're going to remember to do it this time.
And we need to give it away.
Yes, we do.
And so I'm trying to think of a way to come up with a question that's relatively easy. We've got like 1 minute to do this. So I think the question I've come up with would be this. Would you like a Bob Wine's gift certificate?
And have you never had one before?
Yeah. So if the answer is yes.
Right.
Then for both, then you've got it.
Then it's yours.
You just need to call us right now, and the first person who gets through gets it. $20 to Bob Wine. It's not a bad deal.
Yeah.
And you can plant. What
you
could
get?
You get?
All kinds of different things. $20. That's going to get you a nice size. He's a camellia garden. His camellias are known, as the different breeds, as well as azaleas. If you have a little more shaded location, or any of an assortment of things.
Yeah, and so right now it's 622. Did I get a call? Do I have a call? Good morning. Good morning. You're on the air. You want the gift certificate?
Hello.
All right. No, we're there.
It's not.
I'll take the next one if you call real quickly. Carolyn, again, a good show. And if you call after we're off the air, by the way, you can get the. Oh, here we go. All right. Good morning. You've got the gift certificate. Who's this?
This is Carla.
Carla. It'll be waiting for you here, and we're at the Paddock Mall, okay?
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Carla.
Welcome.
All right. Bye.
Right under the wire.
There we go.
Thank you, Carolyn.
Thanks, Larry.
All right, we'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. The NCAA settles a head injury lawsuit, agreeing to create a $70 million fund to diagnose thousands of current and former college athletes to determine if they suffered brain trauma playing contact sports. The settlement still subject to approval by a U.S. district judge. A fourth week of fighting between Israeli forces and Hamas.
Israel Defense Forces are telling us this morning that they targeted 150 separate buildings, really going, it would seem, for the infrastructure.
Jonathan Samuels with Fox Sister Network Sky News on the Israel-Gaza border.
The only power plant on the Gaza Strip was hit. A big tank full of fuel exploded, causing a massive fire.
Palestinian health official says at least 100 Palestinians have been killed in fighting today. And a sheriff says the 9-year-old girl struck by a crashing plane on a Florida beach has died. Fox News, we report, you decide.
I'm Lex Friedman. I run my own business, so I know from experience, hiring new employees can be tough. Posting your job in one place isn't enough to find quality candidates. If you want to find the perfect hire, you need to post your job on all the top job sites, and now you can. With ZipRecruiter.com, you can post your job to 50-plus job sites, including Craigslist, LinkedIn, and Twitter, all with a single click. Find candidates in any industry nationwide. Just post once and watch your qualified candidates roll into ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. No juggling emails or calls to your office. Quickly screen candidates, rate them, and hire the right person fast. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by over 200,000 businesses. And right now, our listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/info. That's ZipRecruiter.com/info. One more time, to try it for free, go to ZipRecruiter.com.
Today in Florida Ag News on the Southeast AgNet, we told you last week the USDA and various partners were noting success so far in restoring longleaf pine trees across the Southeast, as it was the 5th anniversary of the Longleaf Restoration Initiative. But some are asking how more landowners can be encouraged to plant and grow longleaf pine and restore this ecosystem.
80% of the longleaf pine opportunity really is in the private sector and private land ownership. How can we encourage greater collaboration with our private landowners?
That's Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack, who said this will be a key in continuing the successful restoration of longleaf acreage. And Mike Black with the Longleaf Partnership Council added this.
If we're going to be successful in restoring longleaf pine across all 9 states to the level that we have set forth in our goals, it's very important that we engage a private landowner, and that's going to be much more of a challenge than on public lands.
To learn more about it and how you can be a part of it, just contact your local NRCS office.
This is my farm, and on it I'm raising corn. I'm raising soybeans, a little bit of Timothy hay, and sometimes wheat. I'm raising chickens, and a few horses. I'm raising catfish and crappies down at the pond. And if that kid doesn't get his chores done, I'm going to be raising cane. I'm raising dust every time I rattle down the driveway.